I know A7 personally, so.
I think.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how every game would start out. Yeah, and modern day video gamer, if you are watching, we need to redo the boy review. However, I'm tired of doing it on Xbox Live. I think it's just best if we try this Skype that I've been hearing about. Anyway, Shadowrun plays out a lot like Counter-Strike if you've ever played that. So in the beginning of the round, you'll buy weapons. However, here you can also buy magic, technology, and other things. However, and there's also different races you can pick in the start. Unlike Counter-Strike, where each map has its own team, well, most maps have its own team, here you get to pick from one of 4 different races. Humans, elves, dwarfs, and trolls. See, I love the dwarf. I don't know. I'm just a troll. Sorry, a troll player. See, that's a troll right there. And that was me getting killed. So basically, when you get shot, a troll's skin will harden. So sometimes it's best to take a more of a, like guerrilla tactics. Shoot at it, come back, shoot at it again. It does the most damage. However, nowadays the game is not as easy as it used to be. You see, well, the trash talking is just another example of what used to happen back in the old days. I just got kind of lucky that an old school match was happening. But it was still no exception to the katana noobs. Today's servers are flooded with people who basically just use teleportation and katanas and bleed people out. People call it skill, I really don't. And that's also one of the magic spells you can buy. It's called Resurrection, and basically allows you to res people, as they call it. And yes. So, there are 2 game types in this game, from what I remember. And there's Raid and Attrition. Raid is basically where, Raid can be played in a few different ways. A few different ways, from what I remember. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm getting this really mixed up with some of the games. Let me restart on that. Raid is basically this. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Now I got it. So Raid is the thing where artifact will spawn in one of the team's bases, and the objective is for the other team to get it, and to basically to score it. And I think on certain maps it's a neutral artifact, if I remember correctly. So I'm getting really mixed up on this because it differs on each map. And there's also some. And the 2 different teams are Lineage and RNA. So whichever one you think is the good guy and bad guy is up to you. That's cool. And if you're thinking I just went into this game playing multiplayer and doing a review just from playing multiplayer, well, here's the interesting thing. There is no single player for this game. I mean, you can play against bots, but other than that, there's no single player. So, yeah, and then this game also has a little bit of a war. This may not be the most popular PC game, however, you know, how the PC community claims to be better than all the gamers on consoles. Well, here, the developers let us challenge that. Because on this game, you can battle PC players online. It's actually really cool. So, basically, the Xbox Live servers are linked with just the regular live servers that the Windows players have. And I dropped a quarter right there. So yeah. Now, back in the day, it used to be where the Windows players had equal control to the Xbox players, because Windows players can do 180s without the crosshairs like going haywire, and you guys know what I mean. But nowadays there's mods that the PC users use, but I still can defeat almost every PC user because I'm a beast. I actually forgot what I was just gonna. Oh yeah, this game is also very bloody and gory. It's kind of funny because also when this game first came out, on the back of the game, you know how you get to watch how you get to look at why it was rated M. Back in the day, it used to just say blood. That's real descriptive, you know, blood. And yeah, there's many different weapons you can choose from in this game. It's not really an achievement whore, so to speak. But yeah, I've just been basically describing the game. I really want to get into what I liked and didn't like about it. I like how it's so just different than every other game, and it's the closest thing we're gonna get to Counter-Strike on the Xbox 360. That, in my opinion. And yeah, it's great multiplayer fun, especially if you have a full game of 16 players. It can get real chaotic at times where you really need to think about what you're doing. Also, there's no other game that really has battles like this one either. See, battles are kind of like this. In the beginning, there is huge battles, and if the game goes on long enough, the battles will eventually just get smaller and smaller, to the point where it's like a one-on-one match. And that's really interesting, because there is no respawning in this game. You can get resurrected, but there is no respawning. So it is a little bit more merciful than Counter-Strike. But Counter-Strike didn't have as many variables. For example, a troll may take more hit points than a, say, elf, but an elf will have higher magic and be able to run faster. And yeah. So it started. It used to be very balanced, but it's no longer balanced when it comes to races. Elves will usually prevail because of the katana, but I can't really do anything about that. Yeah, that's another thing. It's actually a problem with the community itself. The biggest problem with these multiplayer games is eventually a con is going to become the community itself. And the community itself is just... It's just very horrible. I mean, it's just a bunch of noobs on nowadays. So, if you have a friend who has this game, go ahead and pick it up. And let him or her show you the ropes. And once you got that down, then you should really start sticking it to those noobs. Because the noobs can be beaten. But they are tricky. And there's really not too much else to complain about. I don't complain about how there's no single player. I really could not care. For the price you pay for this game nowadays, I don't care at all. And most people complain how there's no DLC. Well, I say that's just retarded if you come up with that complaint, because Fastest Studios was working on DLC, but Microsoft shut them down because I don't think this game sold very well. And that's a shame, because I loved this game, and I wish there would be a sequel, but I can tell you this, there is definitely not. This is also one of the most addicting games I've ever played online, and I'm proud to say I'm proud to say it. And yeah, there's not much to it. This is I don't know why I'm reviewing so many games that really don't have much to it. But it's just a very simple game, really. I mean, it's really cool, and if you can find it for a cheap price, I would highly recommend you go ahead and pick it up. Because this game is epic. But I'm going to give it my score a little early in this video. It's definitely got to be an easy 8.5 for me.
Oh! Here it is. Oh, I didn't get you with that? Right. No, you did. Oh, never mind. I got it. Damn it, my sniper disappeared. There's one. Where are my... They robbed me. Throw a tree. Get a tree got a grave rob. Oh, God. All is left. Is there anyone nobody left? We're all dead. We're all dead. Except Radiated Tree. He's dead. Don't notice me. You did. Oh.